Okay, everybody, welcome. I'm going to go through how to install a new RGB DMD, LED DMD, color LED display in a Stargate. And it's a long process, so bear with us. Basically, what's going to happen is you need to take this part of your display out and lay it down. I always put bubble wrap there so I don't scratch anything. And we've got this display here. Now, I've already gone through some of it. Sorry, I'm moving around here. I've already gone through a little bit here. But what you're going to be taking out of the game, there's 4 bolts. You take these out, and you're going to be taking out the original display. This is a perfectly working Babcock high voltage DMD from the Stargate. And we're going to replace it with this color DMD all-in-one unit called Tyche. Tyche is a kind of a plug-and-play option. It's got a power supply regulation. It's got the smart DMD, or Pin2Dmd, I'm sorry, Pin2Dmd controller boards that interface the actual LED panels. It's got a laser cut panel. The thing's pretty slick. Cost was around $200, somewhere in there, I think, shipped to me. And it's got some neat features, so we're going to go ahead and install that. The place that I got it was from Dom at German Gaming Supplies. So if you can see that right there, that's the company that I bought from, and he's been nice, good support on Pinside. I think his Pinside ID is Rappelbox, but I'm probably messing that up. So let's get started. So let's take a look here in the back box. And this is the Gottlieb System 3. This system does support that. Unique thing is you just need to find a voltage to input to your display. Now there's a lot of ways to do that. The voltage range, I believe, needs to be 8 volts to 36 volts or 38 volts DC. Don't quote me on that. You'll get instructions. But a real easy way on the Gottliebs to do that is to pull from the coil voltage for the flasher voltage, which I believe is 20 volts. And so I just basically soldered a wire to the 20 volt side here. This is the ground return for the flasher, but this is the 20 volt side here. I believe the colors are green and purple if you can't see that, or at least purplish. It's hard to see, but I believe it's green and blue or green and purple. And I just wire tied that and came down here and basically connected that wire. The other wire here is the ground wire, and honestly, I used my old display connector. And they give you these little connectors here, and so I just tied this into the ground, which is, what is that, pin 5 on this connector here. Can I focus? There we go, A4J1. That normally went into your high voltage display. We're taking the high voltage out of it, so you don't need this connector anymore, but I didn't want to cut the connector out or anything like that. I was going to tie into the 12 volts off this, but for some reason the voltage drop was too low and it was given some weird DC voltages, so when I tested it, so I didn't do that. I went straight to the coil power, which I suspected was the best, but it's easy enough to do right there. So right here they give you these pins. You just clip these together. You can test this spade bit. They come with these spade bits on there, so you just need a female one to connect the red wire, which I tucked down in there. So that gives you 20 volts in, and it's going to spit 5 volts out there, and you're good to go. So that will start your DMD. So now we're going to test this display and on power up, make sure it powers up and works good. The thing with this is Pin2Dmd is a software component that is being used for this display. Pin2Dmd requires a code to activate it, so you'll have to put a code in, and I'll show you how to do that here in a second. Let's see what this thing does. There we go, Pin2Dmd, virtual pinball. So you'll wait 30 seconds, and after 30 seconds, it's going to come up with a code. Okay, so for the sake of this video, I have already unlocked my Pin2Dmd, I've already unlocked the software before this video, but I wanted to pull it to show you. So I've unlocked the DMD. What you'll need to unlock these things is a Microsd card. So, you know, like the size of the tip of your pinky. Some of you guys probably have these in your phones. This is a 1 gig card. I don't know if you might need a little bit bigger card, honestly, if you're going to colorize these things. We can talk about that later. I have no idea how large these files are. So just for my sake, I just threw in one that I had here. I cleaned it off. I put the code in, and I'll show you a couple tricks to that. All right, they're going to send you a key file after you go back and register. So you're going to go onto their website, this installation website, and register your number. Here's the number of my unit, and you basically request a key. They send you that key. It's a .key file. That's important, and I'll tell you why here in a second. So if I go down here and I click on this thing here, you won't let you open it. It's a key file, but I'm going to go ahead and show it in the folder, I think. Okay, so here's what you've got to do, guys. They're going to send you this, and you have to rename this thing. The key is when you go to rename, let's just go to properties. So it's going to show this thing here, and you're going to want to rename it. It tells you to rename it Pin2Dmd.key. The trick is this is already a .key file. So if you rename it to Pin2Dmd.key, it's going to be .key.key. So just type in this box here, pin, and I'll do it here real quick, one-handed. Pin2Dmd. Done. And it's going to mark it as a .key file. You're going to take that, you're going to take your little card, put it in your computer, download it on that adapter for mine here, and I'm going to take that microSD card and I'm going to put it in my Pin2Dmd, and it will unlock the game, or unlock the software on the display. Okay, now I'm ready to install the microSD card. So here's that microSD card. Now I've already unlocked mine. Sorry, I'm going to do some bad camera work here. So I've already unlocked mine. I'm just shooting this on my phone since it's easy to move around. You're going to put the card in like this. Is how it orients. And let's see here. You probably won't be able to see that real well. And again, I'm doing this one-handed. So there it is. That fits in like so. And what it's going to do is when you turn it on, it'll unlock it. Let's do that here real quick, and I'll show you. So the game's already unlocked. My game is already set in a mode, and it saves the config file on the display. So this thing's really super bright, so sorry. So let's take a look at this thing, some of the buttons on here real quick. So the status LEDs are right here, sorry. The LED that's blinking right there says the card's working, so the game's working. At least that's my understanding. There's 2 buttons. This is a reset button. That'll reset the whole unit. This, I think if you hold down and reset it, it does something I can't quite even remember, to be honest with you. But once you're in there, in that menu, there's an option and a menu button. If I hit the menu button right now, I just hit it. Let's take a look. Whoops. I may have to hit the option and menu button together. Yeah. So what it is, it reset that right away. If I hold down the menu button, it might let me change it. There, it resets the unit if you hold both down. So I want to go in and change the settings on this thing, and I'll do that here in a second. Okay, so when you put the new SD card in, the game's unlocked. We're going to go ahead and change the settings. So let's do that. So we're going to go over here to menu. Whoops. We'll reset it. Oh, I forgot. You got to hit the blue button. Hold the blue button down, then hit the little black button over here. Right there. and it should come up in config menu. So when you're in config menu, now you can go through here and change your stuff. So you're going to do it with the menu button and then the other button. So I'm going to press menu, device mode. Let's go look at that. We're going to go through and find Gottlieb 92. We'll go back through, hit that, color palette. We're going to keep it the same. We're going to keep it single, but color palette's kind of cool. You can go through. I'm pressing the second button, the option button right there, and it scrolls through. We're going to leave it on the multicolor. We're going to go to brightness. We're going to go about right there. I don't want it too much brighter than that. Enhancer, we'll go to enhancer on. I don't know what enhancer does, but I guess if it's enhancing, it's much better. Let's see here. Save config, let's save it. When it resets, and there's my Stargate. So it's basically in this multicolor mode. It's kind of like a white with some trailing green and purples. Pretty bright. It's pretty crazy, but there's your new LED display. Pretty cool. Now the trick is, how do we go and colorize all this stuff that we want to do? Well, we'll find out, won't we? The next step is to go through and do the Pin2Dmd editor. So there's an editor program, it's free. You can download it off their website. Again, this is all on donation. I'm not sure the donation numbers. I don't know if it comes with, the donation comes with the display or not. No one really ever said. So again, the gentlemen we're working with are from Germany, so they do a good job of communicating as best they can. But I am not bilingual, so probably the questions I want to ask, I just have to be patient because they do a really nice job. Time differences are sometimes a strain. So. But this is the next step, so now we're going to work on the color palettes, and I'll do a separate video on that once I figure it out.